the sights, doing the things, uh, finding the places, killing the things, all that stuff. Um, I think what we might do is, I don't know, kill some NCR, kill some ghouls. Let's see, let's see where we left off first, and then we'll decide what we'll do. What's our situation like? Okay, we're at the railway station, so I guess what we'll do is we're gonna drink, eat, and sleep for the next couple of days. Just, living that closed down railroad uh, life. It's not too bad here. The beds, they're a little bit dirty, but you could view that as added scenting bonuses. And the water's a little bit dirty, but you could view it as dirty, or maybe it's more like a dirt tea or something. It's got extra flavor. I mean, you really don't know in the Mojave. The bottled water is called H. What is it? H squared O or something like that. Uh, I don't know. If you read the bottle carefully, as people have done, it might just be a typo. But from what people have read, you've got hydrogen squared or whatever. Like instead of H2O, like one hydrogen particle, two oxygen particles, you've got a hydrogen particle with I think two electrons or something, and a single oxygen particle. I don't know. I saw it on some YouTube video. They're talking about how this stuff it's way different than the water that you and I drink, and it's way more radiated. And they don't consider that's clean water in this game. They consider that safe to drink. So the world of Fallout is just like this topsy-turvy, super radioactive world, probably more radioactive than our yellow sun. So when they start talking about things being radioactive, they really mean that stuff is like, it is glowing, it is molting, there's heat radiating from it. The stuff in their world, when they say it's radioactive, it's probably very similar to nuclear meltdown. Whereas, like, I don't know, for us, if we say something's irradiated, we probably mean like, I don't know, like, the X-ray machine, where it's radiation and stuff, but they have to tell you to put on the vest, the lead vest and all that, because you wouldn't know just as a normal person that it's radiated, or maybe you would. I don't know. Maybe you've got really high perception, but to your average person, it just looks like loud machinery. So, but yeah, the stuff in this game, like, when it's above their normal level of radiation, it's really packed full of radiation. Which leads me to believe that their water it's possible that their water is a higher degree of radiation than our water. There's clean, safe to drink water. Now, I might have the lead belly perk, and that could be why the water I'm drinking doesn't seem to be affecting me too much. Now, it seems I do not have the lead belly perk, but it's probably somewhere in this. It's probably some kind of perk. Okay, so what do? We waited 3 days. We could wait 6 days for a complete reset. Well, a mostly complete reset. But 3 days is usually enough to get most things done. I think we waited 3 days. It's crazy. This railway is like it's boarded up, but this machinery is still running. That's one thing I love about this game. People assume that the world was, doing its thing, and then there was a great war, and then the world ended. But like, there's been a million world ends and recreations since, in this game's story. So like, we don't know. Like, okay, so the NCR, for example, has built a majority of the railroad using the powder gangers' labor. So it's hard to tell if this railway station was pre-war or post-war. If the NCR built this and it's just in really poor condition because the NCR, they cut corners where they can, or if this was pre-war and super ancient and it's just left over, because you do find a bit of pre-war stuff scattered and peppered throughout the place. But that's one thing I love about this game is it leaves you guessing, leaves you thinking. What is this? Is what is before me? Is it pre-war? Is it recent and just in poor condition, or is it really old and in really good condition for how old it is? Who knows? It's up to you to make that decision for yourself of what you want to think about it. Okay, let's check out. Oh, I know. Wait, are we equipped for that? Okay, we got a bit of food. Maybe not as much as we should for that kind of excursion. Mole rat meat, that's unlucky to carry. You never want to carry mole rat meat. If you carry mole rat meat, you might accidentally eat the mole rat meat. And then you're going to be down 3 strength. Which, I mean, if carrying beer is a good way to counter that, but still, it's better just to drop that mole rat meat. We got a lucky Nuka-Cola. How much luck is that really going to do us, though? Salient green, we're pretty stocked up on that. Okay, what can we use? Atomic cocktails. Big horner steaks. By the way, what I'm thinking about doing is fighting some Deathclaws, just because why not? Take some Brock flowers, some buffalo gourd seeds, coyote steak. It's a bit heavy, so I think we should probably put away that squirrel on a stick and that iguana on a stick. Let's see what we got. Take some Fancy Lad snack cakes. Oh. Dog meat. Dog steak. What else? Gecko steaks. Honey mesquite pods. Pinto beans. Luckily, 3 lucky sunsets, why not? Ooh, yaguai meat. Yeah, I think that'll help us out. Okay. We're gonna go try to fight some Deathclaws, see how that goes. Just to be sure, yes, we are wearing armor. It couldn't hurt to have a spare repair. Okay. Now we are ready. So, Deadwind Cavern, popular place. All the tourists go there at some point or other. It's not really hard to find. Most of the stuff in the southern end are pretty common locations. It's when you start moving northwest where less people are familiar with the stuff you'll see there. Really in the northeast area, not a lot of people are familiar with that. But they're slowly becoming more familiar with it with the with the Twitch streaming becoming popular and the YouTube and everything. Okay. Do we want to walk there or just fast travel? It's really close. I think we'll walk there. Going to Deadwind Cavern. See how it goes. Yeah, Deadwind Cavern. There's only one reason to really visit there, if you're on a mission, and that's to see the Brotherhood of Steel guy there. He's got some kind of special weapon. It's called like the Victory Weapon or something. It's some kind of grenade launcher. I'm not really an explosives build, so it's not really my thing, but I've seen it. It's there. And we're getting close to Deadwind Cavern. The reason I found Deadwind Cavern myself was I wasn't exactly looking for Deathclaws. Like, I'm always looking for Deathclaws to kill, but in this specific situation, I was not looking for Deathclaws. I was looking to go to the shack that's close by, Harper's Shack, and I was going to stock it full of sodas and stuff, because it looks like that's what they were doing before they abandoned the place and became Vipers over here at, it's not on the map, but there's like a subway tunnel that some Vipers are at, or Jackals. I'm not sure if they're Vipers or Jackals, but some disenfranchised gang hangs out there. You can tell that they used to live at Harper's Shack bottling soda before they decided to become raiders. We should be seeing some Deathclaws. But yeah, it's crazy. I used to go to Harper's Shack all the time and never noticed there was Deathclaws so close to that entire time. That's the thing about Deathclaws is they really aren't looking to mess people up, at least in this game. Later on in Fallout 4, they'll raid settlements and stuff, but it seems like for the most part in Fallout New Vegas, Deathclaws are willing to just stay to their territory. Only defend their territory. So they're really not bad critters. But sometimes you gotta heads, and they gotta go. That's what I forgot to pack was water. But luckily we got gecko kebabs. Always, and I mean always, pack like 30 gecko kebabs minimum. Hopefully I stuck by that. Let's see how many we got. Gecko kebabs, we got 125, so we're good. But always pack, I'm probably over carrying. Always pack 30 gecko kebabs if you can, because they do about as much hydration as a bottle of water. They do a lot of food, and they heal you more than a sunset sarsaparilla. Well, if you, yeah. So they're good stuff. You need a pretty high survival to make the most of them, but you don't really need a super high survival to be able to make them. But it really helps for when you're wanting to wait in areas to time skip to the future. Why would you want to wait to time skip? To reset stuff. In this case, we're hoping to reset our implant GRX, which we have. Okay, if you are a melee build, what you'll probably want to do is take these Deathclaws out one at a time. So if you can, approach them in groups of 1 to 3, and fight them like that, because if you fight all of them at once, you're not going to make it. Like, yeah, I think I messed up. Okay. Take some drugs. Psycho. Ooh. We should probably eat some sunset. Ooh, yaguai meat. We'll save that for the... There's like a queen or a king or something that lives deep inside of these chambers. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. Always eat your jalapenos. And your gecko kebabs. Okay, sweet. We made it. And we only alerted 3 of them. Yeah, that would have been a lot worse had we alerted 6 of them. Now, some people might think Deadwood Caverns is like the most hardcore place you can go because it has an alpha in it. It's really not. The most hardcore place you can go is on the Colorado River, and it's got an alpha there as well. But the problem is there's a pack of about 6 Deathclaws all together, and if you try to face them, it's not going to end well. Okay, we're gonna save, and I believe I set up a glow trail, yeah, sweet, to be able to find my way out of this place. So that atomic cocktail will help show me the way to escape. But for now, we're gonna wait 24 hours to reset our implants. What we're hoping for is some Deathclaw eggs. But if we can't get that, we'll settle for just whatever hands and paste we find. Deathclaw hands are about as valuable as Salient Green. They're not. I don't really collect them for their monetary value though, more for just like they look cool. It's nice to have them to decorate places and whatnot. I really need to set up more of a trail. Next time I come, I'm gonna bring atomic cocktails and whiskey, hopefully. Yeah, we'll save. The nice thing about whiskey is it also glows in the dark. So now the atomic cocktails and the Nuka Quantums probably got the brightest glow, but the whiskey has a glow as well, and it's far more common than the atomic cocktail. Although I have found some people that are willing to sell the atomic cocktail almost all the time, like Lacey. Lacey seems to always have it. And the lady over in Sloan, I forget her name at the moment, but she also is a common carrier of it. We got 3 death claws. We got 3 death jaws. Oh no, we got more than 3. How are we gonna pull this off? We'll wait till one comes and then we'll aggro him. Hopefully, by the time the 4th one comes, the first 3 will be dead. It couldn't hurt. I'll be a little bit faster if I'm on the stuff. Okay, that did not work as planned at all. Yeah. Yep, that did not work as planned at all. The best strategy for these guys is to get right behind them. That and to, if you're a melee person, slam as much food as you can. If you're melee or unarmed, always carry as much food as you can. This is like the traditional Elder Scrolls Berserker strategy. That did not work out well, but we're still alive, so there's that. This is where the Sailing Green comes into play. Are our drugs still working? Looks like it. Probably should have brought more vegetables, because we are not quite through with this cave. We're getting a good bit of claws, though. Good bit of death claw hands. Pretty sure there's more in this cave somewhere. And I think I found where they could be. Okay, there was one, but I'm sure there's more. No. Okay, now is not the time to get cocky because we are low on supplies. Well, not really. You've seen we've got a lot of supplies, but we're not overstocked on food other than the gecko kebabs. So we've still got some room there, but we got to stay in the mindset that we're not out of the woods yet. Because what's the point of all the food in the world if you don't remember to eat it? That and having a variety of food helps. The greater the variety you eat, the more health you're pulling in at once. Here's our Brotherhood of Steel Paladin. I took his note, so I'm not sure what it said, but there it is, Mercy. It's this grenade launcher big gun thing. Yeah, he had a note on him as well, but there he or she or whatever is. They made it pretty far into the cave, so the Brotherhood are pretty effective at dungeon exploring. Not sure what killed them. Was it the death claws? Did they kill themselves eating poisonous mushrooms? Did they starve to death? Did they have a hard time finding water? Who knows? Oh yeah, here it comes. Hey buddy. Check out my light. So you want to track the lesser ones. Oh no, that's the big one. Well, either way, it's better to attract them while they're on their own. You don't want them to all gang up on you, or it's pretty much game over. And that is how you clear Deathjaw Hollows. Now watch, I'm gonna get just swiped right out of the cave. Whew, egg. That's exactly what we needed. Was that everything? Am I okay? It would seem so. Drip, drip, drip. Okay, let's get out of here. Now to get lost. Yeah, you always want to clear the place as much as you can so that when you're on your way out, you're low on supplies, you don't just get T-boned. There's our lucky bottle of booze. show us the way out. You can use a dinky in combination with a bottle of booze. Oftentimes what I'll do is I'll use dinkies, like in the sewers for example. I'll use dinkies to decorate the place to show me the way. But I'll try to put something glowing like a bottle of whiskey or a bottle of atomic cocktail to light up the dinky to show me the way. Sometimes you don't need the dinky, but the good thing about the dinky is nobody's ever going to drink the dinky. The dinky will be left alone. So, like, your bottle of booze, there's a small chance, not a big chance, but there's a small chance that an enemy NPC, when you engage them in combat, could choose to drink your consumable item. And then, you know, there you go, there's your breadcrumbs, there's your Jack and Jill. Now it's time to get lost in the woods forever and die. But if you put that dinky there, that will stay there unless it's knocked out of the way. I mean, you gotta worry about that too. There's no sure, secure staking of the land, but you can try. And sometimes just that little bit of effort is all the difference. So what should we see? What should we see? There's so many things to see. Well, I guess the first thing we should probably do is drop off our goods that we picked up from this Deathjaw Caverns. They are pretty valuable goods, so I think we're going to head to Novak. But just in case Novak is cursed, we're going to head to the toxic dump site. I don't mind activating any curses at the toxic dump site, so we'll go there. What I mean by cursed is sometimes, I'm not sure if it's because I have Wild Wasteland or what, but sometimes a scorpion will spawn at an area that I fast travel to. I'm not entirely sure what causes it. It's just a simple rad scorpion, not a large rad scorpion, it's just a rad scorpion. And then after some time, that rad scorpion becomes 2, and those 2 become 3, and those 3 become 4. And then after some time, those 4 become 1, and then that one rad scorpion, should I come into contact with it, and it notices me, and it aggroes against me, all NPCs around the Rad Scorpion will fall underneath the Rad Scorpion's like influence. It's almost like the Rad Scorpion gives some kind of pheromones that automatically make all NPCs, including like friendly named NPCs like Old Lady Gibson, the Rad Scorpion will make all NPCs around the Rad Scorpion join its side in its fight against me, and I'll have to kill everyone in the area, or flee. But it doesn't matter because even if I go back, they'll still try to fight me. So that area becomes an off-limit zone if I want to preserve the life of the NPCs in that area. So that is the curse that I'm trying to avoid. And so to avoid that curse, what you'll often want to do is, if you want to travel to Novak, travel to somewhere like this toxic dump site. Travel to offshoots that are close to the place that you want to go. If you don't want Novak cursed, travel here, and then from here, walk to Novak. If you want to go to Good Springs, but you don't want it cursed because you don't want Trudy dead, go here to the Good Springs Cemetery, and then walk there. So it's not hard to prevent your beloved NPCs from falling victim to a curse. And that way to avoid it is simply to travel to a nearby site and then walk from that nearby site to the place that you want to go to. For Novak, I really don't want to kill No Bark No Nen. No Bark No Nen is possibly the most treasured character in the Mojave, for me specifically. Mostly because he's the only person that's willing to play Caravan at any time. Not many NPCs want to play Caravan with you after the 6th time. They're like, woo, that was fun! And I'm like, you want to play again? And they're like, no, we don't. And I'm like, well, why not? They're like, because we played 6 games with you already. Give it a rest already. And I'm like, but I want to play. And then, yeah, so I go to No Bark, and No Bark's like, yeah, I'm always down. I'll play with, I'll play Caravan cards, whatever, all the time. No Bark No Nen is awesome. So here's my safe full of treasures. And we'll go ahead and store these Deathjaw eggs and Deathjaw hands in that safe. Leather belt, pre-war money, Rad Scorpion glands, ammo, metal armor. Yeah. So in this place, I've got a nice collection of stuff. This is one of my more treasured hubs, more treasured places to hang out. It's a bit of a mess right now, but yeah, that gnome, he kept disrupting everything. He kept knocking over my stuff, my Nuka-Cola bottles. So he went in the corner. That's where he stays now. He's still guarding the fridge, but just facing the corner. I got this egg, you know, it's getting ready to hatch. When it hatches, I have some Fancy Lad snack cakes ready for it, so it can grow into a nice, big, strong gecko. And it's got some green stuff, some absinthe, some Nuka-Cola quartz. As we all know, that is exactly what geckos, golden geckos, crave. Nuka-Cola, absinthe, and cake. We got some snacks lining the walls. We got a TV, an actual TV. You don't find many of these in good condition in the Mojave. For the most part, you just won't find TVs, and if you do, they're completely janked up. We got a ton of cigarettes. Uh, funky bed. I think that was from Valentine's. I think some stuff happened there. Veronica invited over that chick from the Dead Money DLC. You know, she's Christine, and they had a time. You know, afterwards, we needed some crutches and stuff. It's pretty crazy. Got a ton of books. I'm not sure if these were here before I got here or if these were always here. This was definitely all me. These beans and stuff. There's Toasty hanging out with duct tape. Captain Cosmo poster. Ceiling. It's a pretty cool place. What's up there? Gun. Camera. Bit of a mess. We got 2 gnomes guarding the bed. They're damaged gnomes, but they're still gnomes. We got a bunch of toasty balls. Richie Marcus loves his balls. Richie Marcus loves his balls. Richie Marcus loves his balls. And then we've got we got, you know, just money getting flushed down the toilet with comics. Ah, no. No. Oh, man. Oh, no. Everything's getting messed up. Got, you know, 2 plungers just in case one plunger doesn't cut it. Our Kill Bill samurai sword. Although I think in Kill Bill the samurai sword was on a pawn shop wall, not in the toilet tank. Cherry bomb going down the sink. Cigarettes. Empty Nuka-Cola bottles. These things are a bit strange. Because empty soda bottle, with an empty soda bottle, you can make Nuka-Cola. But from an empty Nuka-Cola bottle, you can't make anything except for purified water. And dirty water. No, not even dirty water, just purified water. It leads me to believe that empty soda bottles have some radiation connected to them. And once you drink the Nuka-Cola substance out of the empty soda bottle, the Nuka-Cola corrodes away all of that radiation, leaving the Nuka-Cola bottle that is empty, which can now be used to contain purified water without corrupting it with radiation. I gotta be careful when I open up this Foot Locker because sometimes it just sends stuff flying. Ah, we got clothes in here. I could use this to drop off some clothes. Okay, we're getting out of here. I set that place up like years ago, so it's a little bit creepy. It's like a graveyard kind of, because like, you know, people were always changing, so like that kind of reflects, that place kind of reflects who I was a few years ago, and I'm not completely that person anymore, so it's kind of like a graveyard. I do need to redecorate it at some point to update with more along the lines of who I am, but at the same time it's kind of cool going in there. Like, graveyards exist for a reason. People like to visit graveyards. Oh yeah, this place, I used to always come here to feed the settlers. They're big fans of this stuff, the bug meat and the rat meat. The roach meat, big fans. Normally, it's actually just one chick. I'm not sure who she is. She's just called Novak Settler. She always picks up one of these. She doesn't really care which one. Rat meat, roach meat, ant meat, doesn't matter. She picks it up, goes over here, stirs it around, and then fixes herself up a plate and sits either here or here and eats it. And I used to place things on the table, but once she goes and sits down, she sends that stuff flying, so there's no real point in placing that stuff on the table anymore. So that's the setup that was here. And normally I would just hang out here and just watch the NPCs do their thing. I was expecting a lot more NPCs. I'm not sure if my NPCs died due to a cursed rad scorpion, or if there's only one that does that, but it's weird because I believe Novak has several NPCs, and for some reason it was always that one who chose to eat, drink, and actually live in Novak. I'm not entirely sure what the rest of Novak's population does. I know Old Lady Gibson eats and drinks, but she doesn't really live in Novak. She lives a little bit outside of Novak. I don't know how these guys have never died. I've never done anything to protect this group, but they've always managed to survive. And I depend on them. I really should fit them up in power armor, because yeah, you never know when something will happen in the Mojave, and next thing you know, all of your precious NPCs are dead, and they never respawn. So there goes your, your connection to any NPCs who can help you out, or you can pickpocket from, or anything.
What can I do for you? Yeah, and I need sterile medical supplies. But let's see what I have with me.
I always need cat eye. This is one of the only suppliers of cat eye in the entire game. And turbo. Nobody wants to sell turbo. I don't know what the deal is. Is it because it's highly addictive? Is it because your average NPC can't use turbo? Who knows? But nobody sells turbo. Usually the only way to get it is just farming powder gangers. So just every day, just killing as many powder gangers as you can, sleeping 3 to 6 days, and then going back at it. I got a lot of blood sausage, so...
Give me a shout if you need anything else.
Yeah, Ava's a bro. Or Ada. Ada Strauss. Dr. Ada Strauss. She's pretty cool. Well, I guess the responsible thing to do would be to go to the NCR Settler Farm, or Co-op Farm, whatever, and raid that place, go to Big Mountain, convert all that junk to Salient Green, and then restock on my groceries. But yeah, see, the thing is, you always want to do that because you never know when you want to go impulsively kill Deathclaws. You always want to have your groceries stocked on your person because you never know when you want to impulsively kill Deathclaws. That way, you're not hindered by having to go farm. So, if you have the time, and you got nothing to do, farm. And prepare yourself for times when you want to go impulsively do adventures and things. Stuff and things. Things and stuff. Stuff.
We won't go quietly. The Legion can count on that.
Definitely, definitely. Definitely. That was not very quietly, so She's not wrong. Yeah, nobody saw that. Sweet. Yeah, you gotta be careful with NCR money. Stuff is cursed. If you really can't find a use for it, it's probably best to just turn it into caps and gamble with it. That, or let's see, what else can you do with it? Decorate with it. Stash it away somewhere. You don't want to make too much of a mess anywhere when you're stashing stuff, because once you start really creating a stash, what sometimes happens is all of your items will begin floating in the air, like it was some kind of weird photography shoot or something. They'll all start floating in the air and slowly phasing out of the walls, and then phasing back in from the opposite wall. And they'll go on a loop like that, just knocking everything into a giant storm of clutter, and then everything will start disappearing and going invisible. It'll still be there, but it'll be invisible. And pretty much the only way to get a portion of that stuff back to where you can see it again is to take a few items, so that I don't know, something about having too many items can cause things to float in the air and spin around, but it can also cause items to go invisible. So you really want to be careful with how much of a mess you make. But I think we haven't pushed the limit too far quite yet, so we're going to continue making a mess. We never ended up using that Yaguai meat. Lucky us. Yeah, this is like the center of the Mojave. If you're someone who likes to save caps, if you're willing to spend all your caps on stim packs and run around stemmed up everywhere, that's up to you. But you're going to be broke a majority of the time. That's why I do not carry Stealth Suit. Stealth Suit, yeah, she's cute. Her voice is cute, but she will leave you flat broke and on your ass. That, and I'm not the most stealthy of characters. As you've seen so far, when I initiate combat, It's fairly fast, but it's a little drawn out. If you can manage to stay hidden and kill stuff, then Stealth Suit can be great. But if going in guns a-blazing, or like semi-guns a-blazing, I don't know. If you catch the enemy NPC's attention and fight them while they're paying attention to you, Stealth Suit might not be for you. If you can manage to stay hidden and just like kill quickly, move quickly, and pickpocket and stuff, Stealth Suit might be for you. Or you can just play on easy mode. Play on the easiest setting available, and Stealth Suit is most definitely for you. I'm not saying what the mode I play on is hard. I do play on very hard difficulty, but it's really not hard. And I think that's why people install that mod. It's called like the the soy mod or something. It makes it so that like it's supposed to be like virtually impossible every time you get blown up with dynamite or something. It's supposed to up the game difficulty. But I don't play with mods. I try to play the game as standard as possible for several reasons. For one reason, it's the game is nostalgic to me. It reminds me of good times. So I like to play it the way I remember it. But not only that, but I like to be able to initiate a conversation with other people who have played this game. And the more you mod the game, the more you really kind of put yourself in a niche, in a small box, and you kind of alienate yourself from the majority of the people who played this game. So I try to keep it as general as possible. That way I can relate to people who have played this game in some way, shape, or form, instead of, going way off the rails and finding myself in a place that nobody recognizes. I know some people play the same mods, but it's like, okay, here's the thing. Out of people who play video games, only so many people play the Fallout franchise. Out of people who play the Fallout franchise, only so many people play New Vegas. Out of people who play New Vegas, only so many people have played the same mod set. So if I play the general game, for the most part, I can kind of grasp the conversation. If I just play the base game. Not that there's much of a conversation to be had, but I can grasp what little bit is there. Whereas if I found myself dumping 800 hours into a mod that ended up going extinct or whatever, going unsupported, then I might find myself totally and utterly alone in this experience, in the New Vegas experience, and unable to relate with others. Not that that would be so much of a bad thing. It's just, yeah, it's not really a bad thing. It's just not the thing I want to do. Yeah, I ended up building a greenhouse very similar to these greenhouses fairly recently. There was a cold snap and it really wiped out a lot of stuff, but I was able to save a few precious trees with a shelter very similar to the ones that they built for their crops in this game. And it was fairly effective. It saved a few plants, a few trees. It really didn't take, well, honestly, I kind of cheated though. Because like in this game, for the most part, these plants are protected mostly just by the shelter. But what I did was I protected the plants in the shelter and then hooked up heater to those plants, so they were able to be warmed by a heater. So that was that might have been what saved them, because there were some other plants that just got totally wiped out. The ones without the heater, those I'm not sure if they're alive or not anymore. They got no leaves. I don't know if they'll be able to bounce back. I'm not sure if it was because they were so large or what, but they're not looking so good. Those plants might not make it. But the plants that were hooked up and sheltered and warm, those seem okay. They're a little bit, they look a little frazzled, but for the most part they look okay. Okay, so now we just need to fast travel to the big mountain, convert our plants into goo, and then I think we'll be good to go on any new adventures.
Always nice to see you, baby. Bring me any new plants from outside?
I don't know if these are new. These are probably just as recycled as your goo, but sure.
I love it when you talk like that. Let me just get that interface up and running for you.
A 116 maze. That's a good bit. I think I might have missed a couple greenhouses though. I think normally you get like more pinto beans than that. And we should probably fix any addictions or... You know, I don't know if the toaster would burn the world if it could. I think if the toaster was a little bit bigger, a little bit badder, it might realize that there's no point in all of the rage and anger that it carries.
If you're planning to stay a while, I could see clear to giving you a once-over. And rightly so, I should think. Alright then, let me just fire up the old interface for you.
You know, that saying, complacency comes with comfort, or something like that. What do we got here? This place is like Scorpion Central. If you need any bark scorpion glands and you're looking for an easy place to get them, Nipton is the place for you. They are a little bit rare though. Yep. So what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Which city in green we got? Perfect. 45 ceiling green is like a lucky number for me. It's not too high in the carry weight, and it's more than you could really want to eat in any given situation. Burning tire ASMR. You know, sometimes I wonder if the Legion really did this. They say they did, but sometimes I think they might be like the puffer fish, where they make themselves look bigger and badder than they really are. It's just a thought I get sometimes. I'm not saying that's the way it is. I'm just saying, they seem like the kinds of guys that would take credit for something that might have been above their ability to do. I'm just saying, like, these guys are the guys who failed to take Hoover Dam, and we're supposed to believe that in a single night they did all of this. No. I don't know. It just makes you wonder sometimes. Oh, that's interesting. Look up there. That looks sort of like the Minutemen symbol, doesn't it? On the top of Nipton Hall. Interesting. Yeah, so sometimes I think that there's a possibility that a force unseen and unknown to man, not saying it's aliens, might be pulling some strings, making some moves, doing some things. Because Rita's Cafe we all know about Rita's Cafe. It's on most of the loading screens. I believe it's on the main menu sometimes, the starting menu, and I think it's even mentioned on some of the cover art for the game. Maybe not though, but I just recently figured out. I'm kind of thick. I'm kind of slow, so it took me a while, but I finally just figured out that Rita's Cafe is the Lucky 38. And I don't know why it took me so long to figure that out, but I finally did. So this story that we've all bought into, that the Wikipedia, the Wicca whatever, has bought into, it's not as cut and dry as we've perceived it to be. All of us who have fallen for the main storyline that we perpetuate. There's more going on than what is quickly and easily perceived at the surface. Rita's Cafe, our pies, pies, flying saucers, our pies are out of this world. It's way too obvious when it's like it's perfectly hidden in plain sight, but we all perpetuate something that it's like I don't know, it's like the perfect magic trick. We all fell for it. I don't know if we all fell for it. I might be just one of the few few slow ones who fell for it for this long, but it would seem that there's more to the story than your average player would be willing to say there is. So if Rita's Cafe, if the Lucky 38 is actually Rita's Cafe, I don't think it's that much of a stretch to think that the Legion might be claiming more credit than they're deserving of. And on that note, we're fully stocked. We're ready to go on any adventures for the next stream. On that note, I think I'm going to end the stream, and I wish all of you a good day or night, whatever time it might be for you. And I'm going to be on my way. So goodbye.